Hello everyone and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode, we're going to play some Jeskai Uharis. Uharis the Storm Spinner, which is Spider-Man from like the future or something, who knows. The point is, he's a card, 2 mana, 2/3, Double Strike Vigilance. 2 mana, 2/3 Double Strike Vigilance is already an insane stat, but he also has an ability at the beginning of your end step. If you play a land or cast a spell this turn from anywhere other than your hand, Uharis deals damage to its equal to its power to any target, not just your opponent, any target. But he does have a downside, or two downsides. Of course, he's legendary, so you can only have one on the board. But the other downside is that you can't cast Uharis during your first, second, or third turn of the game. So that, that sounds pretty bad, right? You can't cast him for the first 3 turns. How are you going to play this in modern day standard where the first 3 turns is the whole game? There's no 4th turn. Nobody plays into turn 4. Well, that's okay. We put in the Jeskai reanimation deck along with the Abhorrent Oculus, and we'll just bring him back. We'll just reanimate him. That's the whole idea of the deck. So Jeskai Reanimator, Jeskai Oculus deck was already a very strong deck before sort of the rotations and a lot of the shakeup. And I think most people forgotten about this deck in favor of the Izzet Cauldron. But, of course, Izzet Cauldron is going to stay here forever. I'm pretty sure a Banhammer is coming. So, we are going to look at this deck again. Now, there is lots of versions of this deck out there, and I haven't figured out what is the best one to play. And I'm going to try out this one because it has a lot more interaction. And I feel like in, especially my games, I think interaction is a must-have because I'm always going second, and our opponent's turn 1 land were elfing me. So, I need to have some form of interaction, not to just fall too far behind. So let's talk about the deck list. Turn 1, of course, we got our 4 Marauding Mako. That's what we want to have on turn 1. Turn 2 is where the cards will matter. So we have 4 FOMO and 4 Proft Eidetic Memory. So if we have Marauding Mako out, these cards will buff our Mako and make our actual opener scary. Those are our turn 2 plays that we want to do. We also have 2 Uharis, which obviously we cannot play on turn 2, but is a 2 mana play that eventually we can sort of utilize. And going to turn 3, we have our 3 mana Oculus. Look at that 3 mana. We wish we can play it. We can't. You need to exile 6 cards from your graveyard. And usually on turn 3, you don't have 6 cards in your graveyard. Now, there are fringe scenarios, but most likely we want to reanimate the Oculus, just like we want to reanimate Uharis. We also have 4 Steam Core Scholar. That's a very good card to play on turn 3 because you draw 2, discard maybe 2 cards if you want to get to discard on a Marauding Mako, or you discard a creature with flying. Or instant sorcery, don't do that, right? You definitely don't want to discard your utility cards. Discarding a creature is exactly what we want to do. Discarding Oculus allow us to reanimate it. So that's kind of the idea with this turn 3 play. We also have 1 Tersa and 2 Winter Night Stories. Now, Winter Night Story is a really good card with Uharis because, well, he gets to deal the damage if you cast it with its flashback or harmonized cost. And that is sort of where a lot of the combos are going with other people's deck. I didn't want to steer too hard into that because I don't know how good it is yet. So in this version, that's all we got. We got the Winter Night Story to combo with Uharis. And one more card that I didn't talk about yet, Glacial Dragonhunt. Now I'll talk about that right now because this is our tempo play that we could just play no matter what. But we also have now our less than tempo play, our interactive plays. So we got our reanimation spells. 4 Helping Hands and 1 Return Triumphant. These are our reanimation. There's also like a spirit one that's 2 mana that you can have instead of this. It doesn't matter which one you choose. I prefer Return Triumphant just slightly because the Triumphant on a Uharis can potentially give it another +1/+1 counter due to the Young Hero role. So, a fringe buff compared to just giving it a flying counter. I mean, the other one gives it a flying, so it might be better than just a +1/+1, but I think either way is fine, right? So this is our whole idea of our reanimation. Not too many, because we don't want to get reanimation cards stuck in our hand, and that's why this deck is so hard on the interaction. So in the interaction against creatures, we got 2 Torch the Tower and 2 Into the Flood Maw. You definitely Torch the Tower, any openers that you can, and you even Into the Flood Maw like a Landware Elf if you can, because this is a pretty aggressive deck, and you don't want your opponent to have that ramp to interact with. So if you can Flood Maw their what's it called, the Landward Elf, they don't have the mana, and if they don't have the mana, they can't kind of outramp us, right? So that's the whole idea. And we also have 2 Glacial Dragonhunt, or actually 1 Great Glacial Dragonhunt 2 cast, which can also be harmonized as 6, so triggers Uharis. But more importantly, we get to draw a card and discard a card, discarding the cards we want to reanimate, while drawing a card that triggers Proft. So there are lots of good things with this card. But it is a 2-mana sorcery, so I don't want to run too many of. I don't think it can be that good. And of course, there are a lot of red decks out there, so Shelter by Ghost can not only remove something, can also give us some life gain. Much needed life gain in the deck. So that's our interaction play. Couple that up with 2 Spell Pierce. Spell Pierce could also be very useful because, well, we gotta counter our opponent's board wipes and things like that. If we can counter a board wipe, we just win the game. This is basically it, right? The whole deck is very fast, very aggressive, and if they try to turn 4 or turn 5 board wipe us, and we counter that, guess what? They're dead on the following turn. So then, the land base. The land base is the trickiest part. I go all the way down to 21 lands. Too many lands. The Arena Shuffler is rigged. Anyone who tells you otherwise is lying to you. Everyone who plays this game knows that the Shuffler is rigged, so you don't need that many lands. In fact, I've tried 22 lands, and I flood almost every game. I go down to 21 lands, and I'm still flooding. So, yeah, the Shuffler definitely will feed you lands no matter what. And so, you don't need that many lands. We got 4 Floodfarm Verge for the blue-white, 4 Spire Above Canal for the red-blue, and then 4 Sacred Foundry for the red-white, right? I wish I could have all shock lands, but they're not in standard yet, so this is our split. And then we have 4 Multiversal Passage and 4 Starting Town. Now, when I started this deck, I ran 1 island and 1 mountain, and I think I had 2 Triumphant Returns. I didn't have any Into the Flood Maw. I didn't like that. I got Landward Elf too often, and then there were sometimes big creatures that I cannot handle even with Torch. So instead, I cut 1 of Triumphant, and I cut 1 of the Mountain, and I added 2 Flood Maw, and now this deck is Chef Kiss perfect. So that is how I feel about this deck. Let's go into the games and see how well we can do. Alright, our opponent is Big B Hands. Big Bice Hands? Big B is, well, I don't know. We're going second. I didn't know that, so we got a mulligan that hand. And we got, I mean, it's not really much card draw. Maybe the Uharis has to go. I mean, we can't play him on turn 2 anyway, so I think we do drop him. Yo, is that a Mardu devotee? What are we playing against? Alright, here is Marauding Mako. Our Mako is marauding. Look at how marauding he is. They got a voice. Can't even stop that from happening. Ooh, I do get a FOMO though. That's pretty nice. Alright. Let's FOMO this B up. Drop the Oculus. Draw us a card. We're not gonna attack. In case they want to attack, we can block. Let's see what happens. Is this a Mardu, like, go wide strategy? It's probably gonna work, right? Alright, they're gonna kill one of our stuff. I don't know if they have some pump spells. Oh, it's just to get lost, I mean. Okay, it did the damage, I suppose. White, gotta pay the 2 life. Now, I can also fear here, but definitely doing this first. And then, do we drop the Tursa? Do we drop the Steam Core Scholar? I think we drop... I already have a flyer. Tursa's haste. We can keep this back. Don't know what they're gonna plan to do. Maybe no. There's already a FOMO in the graveyard, right? They got creature, enchantment, and sorcery. If I can drop an instant, we would have Delirium. Get lost to Oculus? Nah, that's fine. Oculus is dead. Oculus will be back after these messages. I mean, we could Tursa. I mean, I kind of want to play this, but maybe I don't. Don't want to discard cards randomly for no reason. I guess then we just map. Okay, that's a good card. Yeah, I can attack with both. I don't know why I kept that though, to be honest. There's an Abhorrent Oculus. We're just gonna drop the helping hand anyways. And GG. Yeah, Oculus is kind of backbreaking. G to the G. Alright, our opponent is building it. I remember this guy. You're playing your blue-eyed control again. We go first. Very bad hand. Still a very bad hand, but I'll keep this hand. So, if they're playing the same deck, our torch can go. Let's go Mako. Let's maraud some. Is it going to be a blue-eye control? Yes, it is. Alright, FOMO does allow me to drop the Steam Core Scholar. So next turn I get to attack with 2 creatures. Authority! Okay. Let's Proft. We drew a land. We'll Steam Core Scholar to draw 2 and discard 2. He will gain the life. Oh boy. Those are the cards to draw, right? Guess we'll discard these. I don't want these cards. We'll put on the FOMO. Spread the love. Now, if he has a split up, he will get the whole board. But that's just enough for me to Oculus. How did I know? Also, how did I know I was going to draw a land there? Named blue? Named white? Let's name white. I'm manifesting my dread. He's gonna get lost my Oculus while I'm manifesting my dread. Okay. It's not great, but... yes. It's very important for me to draw more of this. I think we tap that. I do have a Spell Pierce. Could hit. I say it could, but it probably won't, right? I mean, like, let's face it. What do I have in the graveyard? There's an Oculus. So I will have to discard 2 cards. Or I could discard the Flood Maw. Flood Maw is a good card, but Will I ever need shelter for this deck? Take the damage. Day of Judgment. Nope. Oh, I think we got the Anarchy again. Buddy. GG. This was a lot quicker of a game, I gotta say. Alright, our opponent is Callus 2008. Whoa. Old school. Alright, we're going first. Nothing that good here, but going first is something I'll take. How's it going? I am gonna shock for 2 and just be able to hold up a torch if I need it. Yeah, aren't I glad? Aren't I glad I kept up a shock? Turn 1 land ward elf. What a jerk. Discard a card, then draw a card. I had to discard first. I guess we discard Helping Hand. Winter Knight's okay. Stop the elf from happening. There's Cynic. They're playing the Drunith, dude. Alright. This is when you cast a creature spell with mana value. Oh boy. I really want to stop that from happening. But that stopped me from Winter Knight storying. Both ends of that was not fun. So, I think I still have to do it, right? It's too risky. Let's go for the attack. I mean, he's not going to block. In what world would he block? Bounce it. Bounce it good. Yeah, just getting to tap. This draw was horrendous, to say the least. I can hope my Winter Knight story doesn't whiff, but it feels like a whiff here. I could Mako just so that it doesn't fully whiff. At least I didn't. Right? Because otherwise, what am I doing here? Okay, this is a go big or go home play, so I gotta do it. Didn't whiff. Thank God. And I mean, thank God, if that had whiffed. Here's our Oculus, and we are Abhorrent. Oh, man. I wish I had that shelter. It would be pretty useful. Oh, well. Let's see. We got sorcery, instance. We don't have creatures in the graveyard. We can very easily get creatures in the graveyard. Drunith. He's gonna pump the Drunith? Oh, alright. So, I mean, this attack would be pretty weird, but I guess he could do it. Just to kill the foeman. But he does trade a 3/4 for a 2/3. Oh, another Flood Maw. That's very mean. I think we fear here first. Drop this, see what we can get. A Spell Pierce, that's... Oh boy, do we Spell Pierce? I don't think so. I don't think there's anything scary in that deck. I am very taxed on blue mana, so I think what we're going to do is just Flood Maw the Drunith later. First we do the attack. Then we make him do this again. I'm not gonna let him copy, right? Gotta respect that card. And now, Oculus triggers again. You can kill my Oculus, but at this point, it's a losing battle for him. Actually, what did I tap? For FOMO. I tapped my blue. No, I tapped my red, of course. Okay, those are choices I can make. Which Marauding Mako should come in, and which Marauding Mako should go in the graveyard? Oh, what a Sophie's choice. Anyways, there's... Is that lethal on board? Feels like lethal on board. Now he can copy the Drinith, or he can copy whatever he plays with the Drinith. He's got 2 Spyglass Iron. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. He can even put 1 on the Drinith if he wants. But the damage is gonna happen. Snakeskin Veil. Does not want the Snakeskin Veil. Nothing here does much, right? So I think we just go in for the damage. Alright, FOMO can untap the Oculus for a second attack. He's just taking it? Alright. Take another one. You gotta block or you die. Okay, he just dies. Sure. Sorry, Callus 2008. You had a blocker there. You should learn to block with your creatures. Alright, our opponent is Pelou. He's a pack leader. Pelou the pack leader. Alright, here comes the mana screw. We go first, so not gonna keep that hand. 2 lands. We'll keep this hand. Probably put away the Uharis. Can't play it for a while, so it can go. Let's Maraud some Mako. See what we will have to do. They played the nothing. Alright, Floodfarm Verge. Into Proft. Into a big Mako. Starting town? Starting town past turn? Well, okay. Huh. Am I about to face a counterspell? I feel like I'm about to face a counterspell, but... I'm gonna drop the torch. Helix? We'll just bring it back. I drew 1 card. Do I make them make... No, let's make this bigger. 3/4 is harder to kill. Can't Helix a 3/4. Price? Okay, just all the reanimation. Let's go, Winter Night Stories. Did I have a counterspell too? Is this like 5 different colors or something? I'm not discarding that creature, so I'll decline. I think I can drop the Triumphant Return. Put it on the FOMO. You're gonna break my FOMO with a Get Lost? There it is. At least this way we get 3 damage in. But it's not gonna be an easy fight. 4 mana. Okay, they are 4 color control. So if they are 4 color control, it's probably gonna be the kill target spell, right? So I think we're gonna do this. So if they pop my Mako here, it won't matter as hard. Discard a creature. I will do just that. Now, if I try to bring back the Oculus, it probably will just die. I will keep a big Mako, but... This is kind of tricky, because if I just let it go, he'll kill this, and it will still have the mana up. Oh wow, okay. He's got a board wipe coming. That's what's going on. Yeah, nothing we can do about that. There's the wipe. What does they have for 1 mana? FOMO is really scary with Proft, but it will matter what they actually have. Fire magic my board. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of board wipes. It's freaking hard to fight through that many board wipes at once, you know? Okay, he's gonna bring back Helix or get lost. Cool. I drew a land. You know, it's always fun at the important moment to draw lands. Do I discard the Flood Maw here? I guess it's not as useful at this point. We also need to throw out the FOMO, just so we can put on more pressure. It's another land anyways. That did draw 3 cards. It does make this a 5. It's gonna keep that Shiko. It's gonna stock up. Huh. Well, if he'd stock up into like a board wipe, we still die, right? Seems like that's what's gonna happen. We keep like reloading and they keep getting stuff back. So, I mean, he's gonna board wipe me anyways. I'll make this block. We kind of all know what's about to happen. Helix. I didn't think that was what's about to happen, but here we are. Let's cycle the Mako. Jeez, we're cycling a Mako now. Woo! Lands. It's very important to get those lands. Somehow still flood, right? They didn't board wipe me at least, so that's something. Ultima. They ended their turn. That means we get the Oculus. Now let's remove another land. I am running out of cards. I gotta keep these mana for the potential discard cards. They're gonna top deck a board wipe every turn, and we're just gonna kind of eat that. Okay, yeah, basically a board wipe, right? Just immediately top deck an important card here. Alright, well, tit for tat. Spell Pierce? That's not what I needed. But I guess, no, that's not what I needed. I'm gonna have less cards. Steam Core Scholar is okay. I don't think I have any more FOMO really to hit, so I'm not gonna pay too much attention anymore. Are they gonna keep top decking board wipes though? Also the taps, man. Wow, we got him with that freaking flood. Good game. Good game. All right, our opponent is what ails you? 1. How many what LZUs do you have? Alright, he put a 1 in his name, so Arena said, you must want to go first, so let's let him go first. We have a hand. Not a good hand, but it's a hand. Got some card draws and discards, so I can kind of leverage those, but they're just going to turn 1 Landware Alphas, and we're in trouble, right? They didn't turn 1 Landware Alphas. That means we have a chance. 2 swamps, nothing. Do we fear here? Huh. If we fear, what do we even discard? Maybe Proft? You know what I'm going to discard? I'm going to discard the Steam Core Scholar. I know it looks mad, but I think we can swing that. We Proft first. Another Proft is not great. Pretty low, but we're out of cards. Creature again. Yeah, we are entirely out of cards now. And 21 lands, we still flood somehow. I drew 6 lands after all that extra try. Helping Hand. No, it's something. Ooh, okay. Do we drop the Oculus? No, right? We'll decline, so we can discard 2 cards. Both Foundries needs to go. Our Foundry is 2 sacred. Oh, we got 4. This is important. One in blue. Put it alive. And we'll put it on... I'm gonna put it on the Oculus. We'll untap the Mako. Ah, which one you want to block, huh? You block the Mako. The Oculus lives. I mean, we get a second combat, but it doesn't do anything. So we'll just do that. They got a big spell, we can stop it. They got a creature, we can't stop it, but we got 10 damage on board. Hero's Downfall. No, can't stop that. Okay. Okay. Well, oh boy. That just happened. They're good gaming me. Let me bring back the FOMO. This doesn't draw cards, right? They're gonna do 11 damage to me this turn. They were good gaming me, so I'll go game him. Your Aklazat needs to Aklagon. GG. Alright, our opponent is Feral 1 High School? HS, I don't know. Hearthstone? Something. Double Marauding Mako. I mean, maybe? Our opponent is still going first. I mean, like, why wouldn't it, right? Why wouldn't every game our opponent just goes first? They got a bird. They got Chocobo. We're playing Chocobo deck. I don't think I can grow out of Chocobo range. But if they are just Chocobos, they have blue. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. They got blue. We can Glacial Dragonhunt the Chocobo, but it'll probably make it hexproof. Right? Yeah, he'll probably make it hexproof. This turn doing that seems kind of a moot point. So we're just gonna Proft. Our Marauding Mako seems like he's gonna die. Oh, what? Oh, it's a May? I didn't even know it was a May. Okay. It's a fun Chocobo deck, that's for sure. Healer Hawk. Ah. That doesn't look like a hexproof. This will make me take a lot of damage. Whereas in this will just make me take 1, right? So I'm gonna Mako. Actually, no. This won't do it at all because it's white mana and I need red mana. Alright, that was risky. So first we're gonna Mako. Then we're gonna draw 2 cards and discard a card. Probably discard the Oculus. Doesn't look like we'll cast it anytime soon anyways. And did we hit the Chocobo? Did we hit the Hawk? How scary is the Hawk? It does fly. And I don't really fly. I drew a card too, so I can make this a 4. And now let's play the real games. Maybe. Hard to say. Oh, it's gonna Hawk again. Okay, well, I can do a lot of things. I can Uharis. And then I can Glacial Dragonhunt again. He didn't stop it last turn. I don't think he'll stop it this turn. Can I? No, I cannot. No, I cannot do that. So, that's the case. I don't need to do this either. But I will. Yeah, I'll say it's not a bad idea to have that out. I don't think I want to trade the Mako for no reason, so just end turn. Oculus will trigger. Drop a land or something. Now we have a big board. They got 2 cards. Another Chocobo. They finally drop a land to get all the landfall triggers. Then they attack for 1. Sure. It looks scary. I think I could Mako, right? Wait. I think I could Mako. I don't think I want to play anything else, so I do this. Then I Mako, yeah. Well, okay, I don't know if I want another Mako out anyways. Discard the Proft. I don't need that Proft. Let's deal 3 damage to that Chocobo. I'm gonna play a starting town. Pass turn to put it on Uharis. Double striker. It's also a 2/2 I don't care about. So those will be the one attacking. He just takes it? It's a lot of damage that he takes for no reason. To any target. Well, let's kill that Ambrosia. I don't know what our opponent is doing. I don't think their deck is doing anything, honestly. Versa. No idea what's going on. It could just be a Chocobo deck, but it feels like they're just floundering. They are feral, but their deck is terrible. Welcome back, everyone. Now that you saw all those Uharis games, how does this deck feel? It's a great deck, right? It's the Abhorrent Oculus deck, through and through, and it does the wins just like it did before. But Uharis did give it a little bit more of a dimension in WinCon, just because, well, now we can have another thing to cheat out that is backbreaking, and I think we should steer a little bit harder into the second side of his ability because it is very good. So maybe it is cutting Shelter and putting more Glacial Dragonhunt, because Glacial Dragonhunt is very good and Shelter is good, but there was a few games where I didn't think they mattered all too much, especially because as soon as I added Shelter into the deck, I started fighting Control and I stopped fighting mono red aggro. So that's kind of neither here nor there, because that's the matchmaker for you. So yeah, I think it's a good deck. I definitely think it's one of them that could get go the distance. If you want to fine tune, you can definitely make this deck better. There are a lot of things that you can tune for the matchup that you're expecting to face, and especially in best of 1 for the matchup that Arena is kind of feeding you. That being said, though, I do have a side note. What is this name? Uharis the Storm Spinner. I know that the Spider-Man cards are not allowed on Arena, and they have to come up with something for the Into the Omenpath or whatever. But come on, Uharis. That's like some guy's name is Harris, and then they just ask, "Hey, what do you think, Harris?" And he was like, Uharis, and that was the whole name. Come on, you gotta get a little bit more inventive than that. But that's my side note. It's still a funny name. It's a very good card. Too bad his name is kind of cringy. That's really all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.